Chapter 79. Murderer. Ding Rui was assassinated by Gu Hai and was instantly sucked into the chess game world. As soon as she entered this bizarre environment, Ding Rui's face changed, and she was about to fly up into the sky and fly out of the chess game world. However, there was a steep distortion in the surrounding void. Who are you? In the next moment, Ding Rui appeared out of thin air above the sea, arriving at the bottom of the chess game world. What? How did I get here? Ding Rui's face changed, wanting to quickly fly away from this place. Who are you? In the next moment, the position of the figure shifted, suddenly arriving at the place of the dragon vein. No. How did this happen? Ding Rui exclaimed. Ong. The dragon vein let out a roar, and half of the dragon body blasted into Ding Rui. Boom. No matter how brutal the Zither's ferocious army was, in front of the 10,000 feet of dragon body, it was instantly shattered by the impact. Pfft. A mouthful of blood sprayed out from Ding Rui, and she shot towards the periphery to escape. Who are you? Steeply, the void twisted once again, and Ding Rui, who had just flown far away, teleported in front of the dragon vein once again. Boom. Once again, a huge collision occurred, and the 10,000 fierce troops were once again devastated by the collision of the dragon vein, shattering most of them. Gu Hai, let me out if you can, Ding Rui roared furiously. Ding Rui figured out that it was all that game of chess, the 29th heaven and earth vertical chess game. Gu Hai had mastered that game of chess outside. The floating island seemed to be collapsing at any moment, but, in the end, it hadn't. Gu Hai dropped his pieces on the chessboard again and again, as if he was changing the internal structure of the chess game. Long Wanqing looked at Gu Hai with a complicated expression. You actually manipulated the chess game world. Wasn't this the scene when it came out just now? Now it was being used against Ding Rui, yet it left Ding Rui defenseless. Not far away, Li Haran slowly put away the 3 golden arrows and coldly looked at Gu Hai. Seeing Gu Hai's scene of casually dropping his pieces, his face was gloomy for a while. Ding Rui, you are at the end of your rope now. The Whole Master only wants to know the cause of his mother's death. Tell me all you know and I can plead with the Whole Master to spare you from death, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. As he spoke, his voice traveled along the chess power throughout the chess world. Not bad. I just need to know how my mother died. Long Wanqing clenched her fists and said, Rumble. Below, the chess world had long been in chaos, and the dragon vein was twisting wildly. Ding Rui was tired of struggling. Under a loud bang, all of the Zither's ferocious army burst apart, and the ancient Zither in her hand instantly exploded. Boom. Ding Rui was blown out with blood all over her body and heard the voice of the Gu Hai. Ha 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 ha. Tell me, will I live if I tell you guys? Ding Rui stubbornly roared. Stubborn, Gu Hai said in a cold voice. It continued to distort the space of the chess world. Ding Rui was inside, suffering from the impact. Suddenly, a clicking sound came from around Gu Hai. Clack 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 clack. On the outside of the floating island, a large number of cracks suddenly appeared. A large number of cracks also steeply appeared on the chessboard. Not good. The chess world can't hold up anymore. Gu Hai's face changed. Gu Hai hugged Long Wanqing and made a fierce leap. Swoosh. Gu Hai jumped out of the floating island, and at the same time, the earth below the floating island steeply rose up a mountain peak, which appeared out of thin air, majestic and incomparable. Gu Hai didn't dare to hesitate, holding Long Wanqing in his arms as he jumped and scampered over the peaks. Ong, boom. The floating island exploded open with a storm of debris that went straight in all directions. Half of the dragon body suddenly freed itself. At this moment, above the earth, 2 other segments of the dragon body suddenly floated up, connecting perfectly with the dragon body in the chess world, transforming into part of a long dragon body. Ong. As the dragon rolled over, it sank towards the middle of the earth. Not good. Li Haran's face changed. He probed his hand and grabbed a palm towards the dragon's body. A huge palm dipper blasted and grabbed on top of the dragon's body. Boom, boom, boom. The palm dipper grabbed the dragon body, but the dragon body was too powerful. The palm dipper was ferocious, and it still couldn't rip it off in general. Boom. The palm dang exploded. The dragon body drilled into the earth with a bang. The earth was once again shaken by an earthquake, followed by a slow return to calm. Li Haren's face was hideous. Again, it was so close. It had already captured the dragon vein and actually let it escape. Again, Li Haren's face showed coldness, twisted his head, and looked towards the distance. In the distance, it was Ding Rui, who was covered in blood, coughing up blood and falling on top of a mountain peak. It is Ding Rui, this old thing. Otherwise, give yourself time to prepare. It is not so wretched to miss again. In all directions, the cultivators in hiding and fleeing slowly climbed out of the ruins. Finally, no more earthquakes. It's over. It's finally over. I thought I was going to die. After the countless cultivators celebrated, they looked together in the direction of Guhai. However, they saw Guhai landing in front of Ding Rui with Long Wanqing in his arms. Ding Rui was already dying, her entire body covered in blood, and her hair was cloaked, as if she was a dying madwoman. Hall Master, I honored my promise to you. Guhai let go of Long Wanqing in his arms and smiled bitterly. Promise. Guhai had previously promised Long Wanqing that he would bring Long Wanqing out of Dinglong sect, openly and honestly. It was brought out openly and honestly, just that the commotion seemed to be too big. Within 1,000 miles of Dinglong sect, it was all turned into ruins. The mountains, rivers, and streams had all crumbled. Long Wanqing laughed bitterly for a while and looked at Guhai with some complexity. Servant Master Gu, many thanks this time, Long Wanqing said solemnly and incomparably. It's nothing, and many thanks to you for giving me a chance in the first place. Guhai shook his head. Hall Master, let's ask about the cause of your mother's death first. Ding Rui should have no resistance left. Long Wanqing nodded. Hu. Li Haren stepped out of the flying boat and flew over. His face grim, he looked at Ding Rui. Cough, cough, cough. Ha 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 ha, cough, cough. Guhai, I have underestimated you. I should have killed you earlier. Earlier, cough, cough, cough. Ding Rui looked at Guhai with incomparable regret. Servant Master Ding, the words just now are still valid. You only need to tell the Hall Master, back then, who killed the Hall Master's mother. The Hall Master will spare you from death. Guhai said in a deep voice. Not bad. Who killed my mother? Long Wanqing stared at Ding Rui and said. Speak, Li Haren also said in a deep voice. Ding Rui looked at the three of them, and a cold smile appeared at the corner of her mouth as she said, Old Hall Master's death. Cough, cough. Ha 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 ha. Camp Master Li, you don't know, eh? Guhai and Long Wanqing looked at Li Haren. What do I know? Li Haren said in a cold voice. Ha 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 ha. Don't pretend. Cough, cough. Camp Master Li, you dare not admit what you did. Who killed the old Hall Master back then? What are you still pretending for? Wasn't it you? Wasn't it you who killed him? Ha 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 ha. Ding Rui hissed as she glared at Li Haren. Camp Master Li. Guhai raised an eyebrow and went on guard. Crazy bitch. What are you babbling about? Believe it or not, I'll kill you right now. Li Haren glared and roared. Ding Rui glared at Li Haren. Boom. Li Haren rose up in anger and struck with a palm. Ding Rui's head exploded open. Li Haren, you killed and killed, Guhai steeply exclaimed. Ding Rui is crazy? Guhai was puzzled. If I were the murderer, Grandpa Long Wanqing would have found me out long ago. It's impossible to be a murderer. Long Wanqing immediately defended Li Haren. After all, Li Haren had once saved his life. Long Wanqing, earlier you had the dragon drawing jade. Why didn't you collect the dragon vein? Li Haren frowned. To draw the dragon jade, It might need to be at the dragon head of the Earth's dragon vein to be able to do so, and this is not a dragon head. It's just a dragon body. So, Long Wanqing frowned. Dragon tail, dragon body, dragon head, I see, I get it. This 9-5 island is a chain game left behind by the chess viewing elder. Li Haoren's expression abruptly changed. Long Wanqing was puzzled. The Dafeng Ang and the Dinglong sect all have the chess game of Old Man Chess Viewer. Isn't this something he left behind on purpose? These are all clans that have been around for 800 years, suppressing dragon veins. There should be another clan as well, Li Haoren said in a deep voice. Peony sect. Long Wanqing's expression twitched. Not bad. The Peony sect is as old as the Dafeng Ang and the Dinglong sect, and its location is in the very center of the 9 and 5 islands. Peony is the key to this chess game. Peony sect, wouldn't it be? Long Wanqing's eyes steeply lit up. Peony sect, perhaps. Gu Hai nodded. Gu Hai had actually guessed a bit long ago, but just never said anything. In that case, Long Wanqing, bring your dragon-inducing jade and follow me to the Peony sect right away, Li Haoren immediately said. Long Wanqing looked at Ding Rui's corpse and then at Li Haoren, nodded and said, "Good." "Wait," Gu Hai called out abruptly. Long Wanqing looked at Gu Hai in confusion. "Hall Master, I think that with such a big commotion from the Dinglong sect, Master Lionian will soon come. Wait for Master Lionian to come. Then you can leave," Gu Hai advised. Long Wanqing nodded, obviously wanting to go with Li Haoren. Gu Hai, however, glanced at Li Haoren with a slightly sunken face. Despite the short contact, Gu Hai had a keen feeling that this Li Haoren was not as glamorous as what he saw on the surface. "Hall Master, do you trust Master Lionian?" Gu Hai looked towards Long Wanqing. Long Wanqing was silent for a moment and said, "This is of course. My mother was the one who entrusted me to Master Lionian in the past." "Then please wait a little longer for Master Liunian. He will be here soon," Gu Hai said once again. "Gu Hai, you have repeatedly obstructed Long Wanqing from coming with me. Would I still harm Long Wanqing?" "I was also ordered to protect Long Wanqing," Li Haoren said in a cold voice. "Hall Master, I'm offended," Gu Hai suddenly said in a deep voice. "Bear Jin." Steeply, Gu Hai placed the blood knife above Long Wanqing's neck, a cold light appearing on his face. Long Wanqing instantly widened her eyes. Li Haoren's eyes also widened. What was Gu Hai doing? Hijacking Long Wanqing? Li Haoren, if you are doing your duty to protect Long Wanqing, then please step back. Otherwise, I will take a shot at Long Wanqing, Gu Hai said in a deep voice. Li Haoren stared at Gu Hai, his face terribly gloomy. "Gu Hai, are you crazy?" Long Wanqing steeply shouted angrily. "Retreat," Gu Hai shouted at Li Haoren.